Well, today here on GeekSmart, we're going to do an install of another security camera. This one, LTE based, solar panel, no wires or connections needed at all. This thing can be placed in the middle of nowhere, power itself, and as long as it has cell phone connection, she'll work. So, yeah, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to GeekSmart. So, Reolink was kind enough to send me over another product after I finished with my last one. And they asked me if I'd be willing to do this one. And I looked at it and I was like, that looks cool, different. I like different, so absolutely. So they actually sent me to do the video on this guy. And I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm hoping that it works as good as it appears as though it does. This is the Reolink Go PT. It's a pan-tilt zoom, completely wireless camera. It does require LTE service, so if you are in the United States, like I am, it's going to work on T-Mobile. It's supposed to work on AT&T as well, but not Verizon or Sprint or those guys. So there are going to be some limitations in that factor. That said, if you actually head over to their website, you can actually take a peek. They basically list out the bands of LTE that it does work on. So head over there if you're interested. I'll put a link down below. So if you are not in the United States and you need to look for a service. So we're going to give this a try doing it on T-Mobile. The problem is I don't have a T-Mobile actual store in my city. So I headed over to my local Best Buy and picked up one of these bad boys. I do need a nano SIM card, so that's what this requires is a nano SIM. This is a T-Mobile $50 10 gig kit. They had it for $40, but comes with the SIM card and comes with service for the first month, and then you can, obviously it's prepaid, so you can just keep going on. I don't have to put my social security down or anything. I can just pick this up and go. I've already activated this, but I haven't actually done that in the camera. So I did have to open the camera to verify what it actually took with the people that I've been working with. And AT&T thought that would definitely work on their network as well. So it comes with some books here. Looks like some 24-hour surveillance stickers. Tell you what, maybe let's bring it in so you can actually see it as I open it. Okay, so this is all the thing that I've taken out of the box so far. It does have some mounting stuff, probably for the solar panel and then the camera, and that's all that came in there. Be prepared, be Reolink. All right, that's separate, obviously. It does have instructions for the Go PT Reolink and instructions for the solar panel itself. All right. So also in the box is, here we go, solar panel. The solar panel mount, I would assume. Yep, that's the mount for the solar panel. That screws on the back there. Then we can direct it so it does have a ball head on it. Do give you some mounting screws. I don't know if I'll use those, but maybe. Actually, quite a bit more cable than I thought was going to come. So this, probably not going to have this over at the actual camera nearby. Close enough, I would think that should be able to get me. The camera is actually micro USB powered, but this does have I guess a weather guard rubber seal to it, as you can kind of see there. And it does have a foam pad that you can put on there as well, probably for when you're putting the screws there in so it seals down good. There's the antenna, so that's the cell connection antenna. A couple of just foam pads to protect. And here we go. All right, so we have the mount. A strap that I want to look at. We do have some mounting screws, and it looks like a reset button kind of little. You kind of see that, the piece of wire, basically a paper clip, right? That's bent correctly. It does come with a micro USB cable, so you can charge it wired, so you can actually bring it inside and charge it. This is going to be more for wintertime, stuff like that, because if it's getting really cold where you are, you're not going to be able to actually keep it out there to charge on a solar panel in that cold weather, because it is going to be lithium batteries in there, I would assume. And then the camera itself. So you can see pan-tilt zoom, right? There's where the actual antenna comes in. That's obviously where it mounts on the mount. And on the back side of the camera, and you can actually kind of just be careful, obviously, but this is where you're going to see micro SD card, which have a 16 gig, I think is what's in here right now. that it came with. So 16 gig, yep. And if you're inserting it, if you're actually looking at this, if you'll be able to read this, the fins go up for the micro SD, and I think it's the opposite for the SIM. So let's get the SIM card out. Let's get that installed. Okay, so on, there we go. So on this 10 gig plan and everything, it has all the information. So this is the SIM card. Obviously, it has all the SIM card number. I actually went online to T-Mobile real quick and activated it. It was pretty painless, to be honest. And then this one came with a $50 worth of minutes or data. Now this is a multi-card, right? So it actually can do, what do they call it? Micro SIM or nano SIM, or let's see, standard SIM, micro SIM, nano SIM. And that's the order. The big one is the standard SIM. So this can be the first thing we break off probably. There we go. That's the standard SIM card. And then if we break off the next small one, that's our micro SIM card. And then the even smaller yet is the nano SIM. That's the smallest one. That's what most of the new devices take. So got that guy. That then goes, the contact point I think goes down. And if you actually look at the photo, it does have a little photo of the little clipped corner. Now this, you're going to need something like part of the card or something to actually push this in, I think, because we tried that at the other place. You have to hear it click. Let's see if I can get the, so you can kind of see here. If I can't do this with my fingernail. I can't get it in there far enough. But if I use the corner of the card, click, and so just like the micro SD card clicks, the nano card, the SIM card clicks as well. Should be flush, and then you take the little rubber seal, and we push the rubber seal over it. Now, it does come with a slight battery charge, so we were kind of testing this out when I was over at a different store to see that it actually powers up. It's supposed to, and when I went through the instructions, we're going to find out here. They tell you to, how to choose the right SIM card, blah, blah, blah. Turn it on, and then it'll actually vocally tell you out of this little speaker here whether or not it actually connects. So I'm going to actually kick on the power on it, and I can actually plug it in via, so you can see that. Actually, there you go. There's a red dot right there. Everything's plugged in. We're going to find out real quick whether this is a failure or whatever, or what I have to do to get this to work properly. This may be a little bit more of a chore than most of my videos, and then we'll actually go out and set it up. But let's see what happens. So blinking. That's good news, at least. Red, still red. And it says wait a few seconds, the red light will be on solid. Then it goes to blinking blue. Blue LED will flash for a few seconds. Then go to solid before going out. Then you will hear a prompt network connection succeeded, which means it successfully connected, or you won't. And you'll hear a whole bunch of different things. Let's hear what it says, because it's going to tell us. And we'll find out real quick. So currently it is still blinking. However, I'm thinking there is a possibility that it's not connecting in my basement. So I may have to go outside to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and flick this off. We're going to go outside, and then we're going to see what happens. Because outside is where it's going to have a better connection. Even my phone with good service down here doesn't work as well. So let's go up there. So we're outside. And I'll speaker aimed toward you, and you can see the light there. We're going to give it a few minutes and let it connect and do its thing.
Network connection succeeded.
Well, that is fantastic news, and I just thought, oh, I don't even have the antenna on this thing yet. So we're outside. It definitely succeeded. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Actually, you know what? I think I'll leave it on. Maybe we can figure out the next step. So going on to the next step is going to get it connected to the app. I'm going to actually get this antenna on here. It does just screw on, so it just gives us a better connection. I'll feel better about it. There we go. Gotta get it just right. Alright. Now we should have a better connection at least. So, let's get the app open. Okay, so what you'll need is the Reolink app. R-E-O-L-I-N-K. I already have it because I've already set up another camera, so I already even have an account. So when I open it, it's going to actually open up already logged into myself, and you can see the existing camera that I have up front. We're going to add a new camera to this. So I'm going to come down, bring down here, and we're going to hit the plus sign. So this is the main menu here. Let's hit plus. And Reolink would like to access the camera. Let's hit OK. And we need to scan the QR code. So there's a QR code, it's supposed to be, oh, we go, on the bottom of the camera. So I'm going to scan that quick. And there we are. Connecting your device. Device initialization. Create a login password. Let me create that real quick and I'll be right back. So if you want to double check it, you can actually hit the thing there so you can actually view them to make sure they match. But it's just put it the first one in and redo it. Device settings. Let's name your camera. And I'm going to call this one well, backyard, I guess. Because this one is going as far back as I can possibly mount it to prove that it doesn't need Wi-Fi or anything, right? Okay, initialization finished. Battery cameras are not designated for 24/7. Correct, I agree. Camera precautions. So, strong light, you can obviously change how, for the sensitivity, things like that. But don't point to the mirror. Avoid strong signal interference. I understand that. Alright. So, save the QR. Sure, why not? Use now. So we're actually seeing it right there, and you can actually see that it is using 4G. And, yep, it looks obviously not as fast as if we were using it off Wi-Fi or off wired network. But I'm going to kill the battery on this because I don't know how much. Well, I wonder if it shows how much battery it actually has. Let's see here. 53% battery. Actually, it's not too bad. We can turn on the PRM motion sensor, camera recording on or off. We actually have a memory card in there. We can share the camera if we want to. Advanced, let's see. Yes, we want to record audio. It's done with that. Infrared lights are on auto. Date and time, things like that. I'm going to leave it as is right now. Siren, just like the other one, has a siren. So, let's get down to mounting it. Okay, so I'm in my backyard. I'm actually 150, 200 feet from my house, so there really isn't a whole lot of good Wi-Fi down here at all. So LTE camera is going to be the only option, unless I was to put more of a directional outdoor AP or something on my house. That said, this is what you connect the camera with right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually screw this thing on here, and I want to see what it looks like. So if I was to connect it right here, it actually would be a pretty darn good spot. I can see the entire house. I can see my entire backyard. I can even see my garden from this thing. So I'm going to go right here, right on the corner. So I'm going to get the cutout, I guess. The little, you know what? I really don't like using those anyway. I'm going to grab a screw and actually just score where I need to put the 2 screw points. And we'll go from there. Something I wanted to point out real quick on the mount itself. There is a small, or I should say there was a small screw right here that I just took out. It came with it in, and if you take it out, so this is going to be an option of where you're placing it. You can actually have a quick disconnect from the camera. So this is obviously attached to the camera, this is attached to the wall. There's a quick disconnect basically that you can put in place. With it in, you cannot quick disconnect it. So this is kind of something that, depending on where you're placing it and maybe the weather it's going to get and how battered it's going to get, but that is something you can put in. I think I'm going to choose to leave it in, but if I ever choose, I can come back and actually take it back out. I have the wrong size bit, but that'll work. So that's it. I'm going to put it up like this. So rather than the template, I'm actually going to just use this guy here. About there. Okay. I'm going to screw in here. I'm just using a 7/64 small bit, real small bit, just to get it's something for it to bite into, because these really aren't wood screws per se. That's mounted. I'm going to put the camera up there real quick, then we'll work on the solar panel. So if you you did it my way, the solar panel here, or the camera, sorry, just screws onto this guy here. There's actually a little rubber grommet in there that'll actually help it seal. Good, alright. Make sure that you, oh yeah, there you go. Make sure that you put all the, like the seals around the power button, around everything. The one big thing is the power itself. It's going to plug into the back of the camera. So I'm going to get that open and actually ready. Actually do it a little bit like that. Get the antenna out there a little bit more. Because this whole camera is going to move down here. I'm going to go ahead and take this off now. So the little protective cover. The camera should be fully exposed. Let's get the solar panel mounted and the wire in. So you can see right behind me here is where the actual camera is mounted. I'm going to go ahead and mount the solar panel up here, kind of like that. Kind of like that there. And then I can direct basically wherever I want the solar panel to point, and I can direct it there. So let's set this down here, because I don't think it'll stay. Maybe over that rubber. Okay. So I just made 3 small dots real quick, and of course you can use that pencil. I just didn't have a pencil on me, so. Not a fan of these screws at all. They're just cheap screws. Let me think of something. Okay, so I just replaced all of the screws, even on the camera side, with outdoor rated decking screws. Because the screws that come with it, they're just cheap drywall type anchored screws. They're gone. So, enough of that. So, with that said, we have this guy here. I just loosened it up, and now we have the ball mount all loosened. I'm going to go ahead and actually get this screwed onto the panel. On the back side, there's another little white thing that you, basically a nut that you, once you get the panel screwed on, then you take the nut back against the actual panel so it can't move, it looks like. Evening now, the sun basically travels right like this. Let's bring the camera back over here. So we have the cord that's coming in right here. It actually plugs in back here, and the rubber ring actually goes in where the cap actually goes. So make sure I'm going to plug it in the correct way. Hey, there we go. Maybe it's all light go on. It's probably not a whole lot of power that's going into it, but maybe enough. So all I got to do eventually is dress this wire. For now, I'm just going to temporarily do it. Let's go up the ladder together. Alright, so you can see here, here's how we have it mounted. There's the camera. You can see I changed the screws out. Right now, I'm going to actually attach this to the underside of this board so you don't see it. And I don't have any mounts with me, but I did zip tie the remainder of it up here at the solar panel. So that's what the solar panel looks like. Just mounted to the fascia board and directed. So this is that little thing with airplanes that wings are here, and then that's the nut. So once you tighten this guy on, you back tighten this nut here to just basically lock it into place. So we're good. Alright, let's connect to the camera. So I'm actually on LTE currently. As you can see out there, no Wi-Fi down here right now. I'm going to open up the Reolink app. And so we can see my 2 cameras. Let's go back to backyard. Play over cell phone cellular data, that's fine. I want to see it on my cellular plan. I want to see it. So you can actually see where I was down there when I tested a second ago. And there I am. So it's working. Let's expand. And, oh yeah, PTZ. Ah, yeah, there we go. This is a little joystick. So you can see how far we are away from the house. And we can come around here. can see my apple trees. Oh no! My deck. It's kind of, it's not extremely. You just gotta play around with it to get where you want it, because it's got that lag to it, But it works. So if I wanted to, watch the trees or something, I could do that. I'm gonna actually point it up towards the house right now, so we can start recording up that way. But I can always come in here and change that anytime I want. A little more up. Not too much. I also want to get my backyard. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now. And that's where everything's going to be based off of. There is a speaker as well. Hello, hello? Oh wait, I have this turned down a bit. Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Yep. So it's working. You can hear the sirens in the distance there. So there we are. We are fully functional. Good to go. We are on low signal, so we can actually pump this up to 1080. Of course, it's going to eat a lot more data, both on my phone's plan, but also the camera's plan. But much higher quality video, as you can see there. So I'm going to keep it on low, though, so I don't eat very much data from the camera side. So there it is. All done. All set up. The app is working. Everything is recording, actually. Now it's just time to use it and find out how well it actually works in the longer term. And that's going to be on TechGooch. So I will put that full review down below, the link to in the description. If you have any questions, let me know. One thing I didn't do, and I didn't show it, the plastic wrap, there is actually plastic protection wrap on the back of the solar panel that can kind of keep it from getting scratched. Nothing on the front, just on the back. So I did remove that real quick. But we're fully set. And it's actually pointing the opposite direction again, but that doesn't matter. I was playing around with it. But that's it. If you have any questions, like I said, post a comment below, subscribe to the channel, share the video, give it a thumbs up. Head over to techgooch.com. You can actually contact me directly there if you have more personal questions that you don't want to post down below. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's the setup. Thanks for watching here on GeekSmart. Thanks for staying to the end, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.